Now, come back to Alan Watts, our good friend Alan Watts. The idea of preparation from the age of 5, preparing to be an adult, to be successful, that is so wired into our brains. Go to a tribal society. What are they striving for, Luke?
Live for the tribe.
What's the yeah, but again, there's no you're a
Living.
successful you're not there's no you're a successful member of the tribe when you've done this. And this is why we need the hippies. We need the people who live differently, because I can't explain it to you if I don't have that example. Why are they fulfilled? Again, they lack some things that I will never give up, like toilets and plumbing and electricity and shoes. So, that's the cost, but that's the cost, because in the complexity to create those things, the systems we've created an incentive structure to strive for something so that people are productive in capitalism. And inevitably it becomes a distraction from what is actually really purely easy to do, fulfilling. You're never on a holiday thinking, what happens when you go on a holiday? You lose track of time. Saturday feels like Tuesday. You detach. You're in the moment. You're excited for what you're doing tomorrow. And if you're with people, you're excited to do it with them. And it reflects a portion of the state we should be in all the time, but we fail. We are so far from it. And I feel like, I don't know, I expect that when people look at me or whatever, they might see project. This is what he wants everyone to do. This is what he thinks. That's why he's speaking so much on his podcast. But I don't know, the pattern of me doing that, like everything I'm doing is alongside, my closest friends in the world. Scott has been with me on this journey the longest, right? And we're high school friends, just like I am with you. And, we went through so much of this stuff together initially. And now I guess we're seeing other people come on the journey, and it's growing. And this is the thing I see missing so much. It's actually in the dinner, it's actually in those little moments, and you're doing it with, I don't feel like it's something I've passed up. To do some sort of project, create some empire or some crap like that. It gives a fuck. What would that change? What would that change? What would that change? It will never be better than laughing with my brother or seeing you and Dom launch your podcast. It's impossible. The only people who can't understand that, and the reason why they preach they try and sell you, they're always focused on helping you get your wins and everything like that, is because so many of them, despite their level of social sophistication, what they're able to do and build, don't know how to just be content with that joy, that you are more joyful when you help others win than when you supposedly win.
I'm just thinking back to university.
Yeah.
And some of the best times the greatest memories I have are definitely not doing the essays or writing the assignments, is when you're in I remember having a really good group. It's so rare if anyone's gone through that experience.
It's fucking rare. Yeah.
But going through that together, even if we're not but we have a shared sense of purpose. I found the most joy in that. Yeah, that's the greatest memories that I have from university, is when you finally get in touch with people. Because university, well, at least at my university, is not very typical of that big community, especially in the IT and engineering space. A lot of people stick to their own sort of, they don't really socialize a lot, but you had a few classes when you were very connected, and those are the ones you're always drawn to. And just reflecting on that, it has to come down to just the time you spent with people working on things. And yeah, that's definitely when I felt alive at university, as opposed to all the other times that I've talked to you about where it wasn't so great, but that's what sticks out.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I don't have many people I think about as heroes, but I think one of my heroes is actually 18-year-old girl from Brazil who, came to the community last year. And Liam and I, we're in this aggressive feedback mode. So we want to know, what are you enjoying here? What are you getting out of it? And stuff like that. So we know what to do more of and stuff. And what do you want this to help you achieve and get to and be? And I asked this girl, and what she said to me was, nothing. She said, I just love having this around me. So to go back to Alan Watts, we thought of life as a journey with some, goal at the end. And the goal was to get to that end, success or retirement or heaven, the afterlife, whatever it was. But we missed the point. We cheated ourselves the whole way down the line. It was a musical thing, and you were supposed to sing and dance while the music was being played. Some things are a means to an end, and some things are just an end in and of themselves. And as this girl pointed out, the part she loved most about the concert student was the moments of being actually just be able to connect honestly and deeply with people, and the joy of that, which we don't advertise because we lose the communication when we foreground that, which is the big sin of our time. People don't intrinsically value that, but it is the reality. And the way life should be is that, because I still encourage people to work on things and build things. I've encouraged and pushed you. You're one of those people, and myself, one of those people. So why if it's just about being, because it should not be one or the other. Everything should be both. When you open a door, the joy is experiencing the next room and the surprise of it. It's not to rush through that room and not notice things. But what it means when all these spiritual people say be present, they mean awareness not as a spotlight, but as a floodlight to actually see and experience it all. And once you've finished experiencing that, you go and open the next door, and the process begins again. And the last occasion we do that is our death. Because we've had our time to experience what we're here to experience. And then you move on to some sort of big mystery after, whatever that is. And that is so lost from the way we think about work and life. Because our work should be like that. It should just be an extension of that reality.
Pretty powerful.
I reckon. So did you learn something from Alan Watts, Luke?
I think I did.
Yeah, it's epic, man. It's epic. Thank you for being on the journey. I really
Thank you for having me.
I do, it really is special to have. It's a very unusual situation. I mean, to have, high school friends, people you never expected doing this sort of stuff with, and to kind of have more and more of them, coming on this journey. Because it's really like everyone has this in them. Everyone has this in them, this level of reflection and working on, working on things.
It's just so hard to get past pretty much the beliefs, the beliefs that are not founded. It's like you think about the podcast. You just, I mean, I had heaps of beliefs about, it's going to be a lot more difficult than it is. But obviously we had you walking us through every step of the way, but it's sort of, it comes down to that qualified thing. Like you automatically think, well, I don't think I'm qualified to be a podcaster, or, I'm not, even with running, I don't know that much about technically about run. Your brain just feeds you these things, all these things that are just like not really true. So to be around other people that push you is a gift.
Is a gift, and it's also the reward. It is also the reward. Well, that's a wrap on what started as Alan Watts, but inevitably became about life. Go figure. But I think that's what he would have wanted. He's so much about, for me, connecting it to the actual fucking big picture, which most people fail to do. And he did that so early. This guy has so much of my respect. You really appreciate thoughts like this that are truly timeless. So we'll move on. We'll move on to the next big thinker. We'll continue in this vein. But yeah, thank you for everyone who's been listening. Big thanks to Luke. This is such an exciting journey and chapter in the podcast evolution. And I haven't said this for a while, but remember, everyone, that the best way to open 1,000 doors for you is to concentrate on opening doors for others.